Well, Matt, how's the week been for you? It's a full week of training ahead of this weekend's game against Northampton. What's it been like this week?
Early part of the week, the players probably were low on confidence, which is understandable considering the manner in which we lost the game on Saturday. But it's been, a really super training week in terms of application from the players, and also we've had a very honest week, because we're all aware that, and I put myself in this category as well, that we're not performing to potential at the moment. But now we've got the opportunity on Saturday to try and win a game of football. I feel that the squad is in a good place. We've obviously, unfortunately, still missing Manny for the game, but everyone's been training well. The players have been in every day, and they will do, and I think that's also important, because it's a massive game for us. It's the biggest game of our season on Saturday, and having looked at Northampton, it's going to be a very tough game.
Has it almost been a week of reflection, looking back to that Bristol Rose game, looking at what things can change building into this weekend's game against Northampton?
Tom, a lot of the time, especially after a loss that we had on Saturday, I was very emotional, as were the players, and that's to be expected because it means so much to us. But we can't affect that result, and that's imperative to understand that. So therefore we must look forward to the next result or the next game. And our next game comes against Northampton on Saturday. So training has been geared to that all week, and we've been looking at, as we always do, areas and ways in which we feel we can win a game of football with the players that we have available. And that's where the focus has been this week, because we're all completely in the understanding that we haven't performed well enough recently, and we need to do something about that come the weekend.
Yeah, and what are you expecting from Northampton when they visit the Banksies?
A team that lost a couple of their very influential players in January, and they're still, I think, one of the teams that will definitely be up there this season. They're consistent in their performances. John's done a really good job, similar to me, in terms of it's his first role as a first team coach and first team manager. I went to watch them on Tuesday night. I thought they were effective. They've got some really, really good players, and they've added 3 or 4 in the last 4 or 5 days of the window. So I'm sure that he'll have players in his group that are desperate to perform and prove a point and get into his team, because they lost their last game. So that, of course, makes it a dangerous fixture. But our players, we're going into it full of confidence and ready to go. It's imperative now that they feel pressure, but that pressure can't overawe them so that they don't deliver a performance. What we have to do as a group is make sure that my job is to relieve that from them. We give them a clear structure, and then they go and implement a game plan, because our players are still very good players at this level, and it's hugely important to understand that, and keep telling them on a daily basis that I have full confidence in them, as do the staff. Now, it's natural when you're a player to lose that confidence when maybe things aren't going right, but we've shown many times this season that we're a good team, and we need to do that again on Saturday.
You mentioned getting clear instructions across there. The majority of the group will understand the way you're working from being with you for large parts of the season, but over the course of January you had a couple of new players in there. How have they settled in?
Really well. And what I like about the players that have come in terms of Reece, Donovan and Devontae, is that they've all got a point to prove, and they're all different positions in terms of their career. So we've got the experienced players. We have that understanding in Donovan. He's a leader. Look at Reece. Reece is desperate to perform. He's a player that will most definitely grow. And then Devontae, in terms of his power, his goal scoring ability, he's a player that probably hasn't hit his potential yet. So therefore that's hugely important for the football club, and all 3 of those players are the right characters. That was massive, and I always talk about that. It's imperative that we sign the correct type of people first, as opposed to just based on their ability. So look, January is a tough month always to recruit. It's my first one. It was eventful. We lost 3 and we replaced with 3 very good players.
And it's all about almost bringing everybody up to speed, isn't it, and getting them, making sure they are match ready, because by their own admissions they probably haven't played as much as they would have liked to do, the boys that came in, but they seem to have slotted in quite nicely.
Yep, there's every time as a player you join a new club, obviously there's new ideas, there's a new coach, it's a different voice, and that's been the case here obviously with those 3. But I've been pleased with the way they've integrated into the squad. as always, you know, the players that come in, they always tend to know somebody that's currently at that football club and here. So yeah, I'm pleased with the way that they've trained. Now, as always and as ever, it doesn't matter if the training is brilliant. What we need to do is make sure that we perform well on a Saturday. The process this week has been pleasing, but the most important thing is that come Saturday the players are ready and confident, and I can guarantee they will be.